I want to talk now about Jeffrey Epstein, the second video of the day. Okay, today is Friday, November 8th, 2019, about Jeffrey Epstein and how that power he had over people, over the girls and adults who were politicians, wealthy individuals, influential people. But I want to talk a little bit more about the power that Jeffrey Epstein had. Now, Jeffrey Epstein is an individual who was arrested for human trafficking of teenage girls. And he seemed to have a very extensive network of control. What I want to talk about now is that how I think he really, with all these two audios that I did today, to try to tie it all in. Now, Jeffrey Epstein had property in Florida. He was a member, at least at one time, of this club for the ultra rich in Florida. And what happened, well, how it was set up. Now, nearby that community, you had a school. And Jeffrey Epstein in Florida was recruiting girls, teenage girls, from this nearby community in Florida next to this ultra-wealthy community. Now we all see, well, many of us have seen, if you live in a big city, that you have, when you have the ultra-rich, right next door is super poor, disadvantaged. And so he relied on that. It seems like he must have relied on that dynamic, economic dynamics of poor and rich. And when you have that strict division between the poor and the rich. And he sent a recruiter and says, hey, you want to make some money? And so these girls, these teenage girls, live near where wealth, that your status is based on how much money you have or who your folks are. The illusion of wealth. This paper money that I talked about that is created, made from wood. It can be mass produced. But it has a lot of power, and I explained earlier that the power behind this money, it has sigils. A sigil is like a symbol. It's an image, and it's encircled. The image is encircled, and that adds as a force, so it empowers the intent of the symbol inside this encirclement. And so, one by one, the enticement of money and that to be somebody, and we live in a very materialistic world, and now with these young girls being enticed by the videos that is promoting the imagery of looking sexy, wearing expensive clothes, makeup, having a cell phone, and you see how expensive these cell phones are becoming. Over $1,000 to make a phone call and to have access to social media. So these teenage girls are being enticed by these things, and the economic dynamics, that division between the rich and the poor, and they want to be something. And they want to be able to buy those things that they see in social media. And so they went. One by one they went. Now, I don't know how much information the girls were initially given to go over to meet this person for quick money. I mean, for me as an adult, what would a guy want me to do? For me, I would think it's something sexual. Why would someone want to give me money to go to his place? Well, these girls unfortunately made that decision to see. And these teenage girls were exploited, and the innocence of some of them were taken away. Highly exploited these women, children. These were teenage girls. And yes, they were paid. And so now that voter, when you hold money in your hand, and I explained earlier in my earlier audio tapes of today, that sigil acts almost like a vortex, and it's sucking your energy. It's enticing you. It's luring you to want more money. And so these girls, since now they had the money, everything was done in cash, to my understanding. So that money, with those sigils of power connected to it, encourage those girls, lure those girls, seduce those girls to get more people. Jeffrey Epstein said, hey, you want to make more money? If you bring in more girls, you'll get extra money for each girl you bring in. And that's what happened. And that's the hook that catapulted him into the type of power that he had over these women, these girls, teenage girls. So even though these girls were victim and raped, these girls had the serpent's bite, that toxin that's in their system. The more girls they bring in, the more money they get. And so it's feeding and feeding like a generator, and just feeding. It feeds itself. Bringing more girls, more money. They get more enticed and more greedy for the lust of this money. And then those girls that were brought on, now they were told, oh, you just give him a massage and he'll pay you. And again, the serpent's bite upon these young teenage girls. And then they repeated the cycle, because Jeffrey would tell these new victims, hey, you bring in more girls, and you get X amount of money for each new recruit. So this is really, so what's happening here? That children are being seduced to being used for an activity that's feeding a deviant society, a deviancy that is controlling governments, controlling television news. Now it's said that one of the major television stations knew about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, had pictures, had names of multiple women, and then they told the reporter, Oh, well, who knows Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, we're not going to air it. And so just imagine if it was aired back then, this might have been 10 years ago. Just imagine how many girls could have been protected from Jeffrey Epstein and not be another victim of his. And to crank down on that gerbil wheel of deceit and enticing these poor girls to get money. But it wasn't done. And that's because that the people behind this control system are probably such a deviancy and creature who wants to sap onto this energy I talked about, this Archon. And these Archons are penetrating every society. School systems. Now they're having children, introducing children, elementary school children, to sexual material. The movie industry, the news, everything is permeated with these archonic beings that just sap all your energy. It's a network, all right. It is a strong network. And so also I wanted to share in this that, see, ladies, why don't you stick up for one another? See, you had the power in your hand all along, just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she always had the power. The power was her. And to focus her intent, to free herself, to awaken herself to what is real. And she believed the wizard. That wizard is the Archon. Ladies, whether you're a teenager or an adult, ladies, you have the power within you to say no, to share your information with other ladies. Hey, this guy's a pervert. This guy said he only wanted this, but he took that from me. He hurt me. You could have all come forward and at least tell and warn the other girls or guys of your school the dangers of this individual and to call the authorities. So when there's a lot of you, that helps and build up your power and confidence, at least to expose them. At least to expose them. Don't lie to your fellow female friend. Don't lie to each other and say, hey, you just have to do this and get some money. Ladies, we're better than that. Start a strong sisterhood to protect you from predators. Each one teach one. Share your information to protect one another. Get into government to change laws out there. These victims are now adults of Jeffrey Epstein. Imagine a force that you can do now as an adult and get into public office and change the laws to protect young ladies and other children. The power is in your hand. It's time to expose these evil, archonic beings. So I thank you for listening. And again, as usual, thank you for listening. Share this video, this audio tape, with friends or family members. You can comment below. And if you like this content and would like more of it, you may wish to donate to my PayPal Me account. Just come to my channel, Spirit Journey. And on the top right of the banner of my channel, you'll see the link, the PayPal Me link. Just click on it and follow the prompts. Any amount would be appreciated. I thank you in advance. And please give me a thumbs up. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.